Today we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane. TikTok's memory lane. I've made plenty of videos in the past about car trends, but this time we're going to be specific. We're going to be talking about the car trends that were popular on TikTok. Some of them were good. Most of them were absolute dog shit. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Here are 9 of the worst TikTok trends that just happened to stumble across the car community. Coming in number 9, there was a trend in 2024 that I like to call the scareway trend. This was the trend where 2 grown men would get in their cars and would drive forward acting like they're scaring a different car away. And then the big brother comes from the back and stands up for the car getting bullied. Oh my god, it was the corniest thing ever. You guys are probably confused and don't know what the hell I'm saying, so I'm going to play the clip for you right now. Try not to cringe. Yes, these are men above the age of 25 role-playing scareaway with their cars. Imagine being a father and your 30-year-old son comes up and tells you, I'm a TikToker. And then you're like, oh, that's nice, son. Let me see your content. And then he shows you this. Is it too late to send him to foster? I don't know. I always thought it was cringe, but that's going to be a common pattern for the rest of the TikTok trends on this video. I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, what do I love? What shirt I'm wearing? I got you. I'm going to show you right now. Hold on. It's inverted for you guys. Let me re-invert that for you. Look at that. I love gooning. All right, let me stop. I'm a grown-ass man, bro. But coming in at number 8, we have another trend that plagued TikTok in 2024 as well. That seemed like the year of terrible TikTok trends. But that was the parking next to the stock version trend. This trend wasn't bad. Like, the concept of it was kind of cool. So the main concept of the trend is you get your car that's modded. For instance, let's say a modded Corvette Z06. You get your Corvette Z06 and you find another Corvette Z06 in the wild that's stock. And then you park next to that and the caption of that video would be showing a stock car his true potential or something like that. The problem with this trend and why it even made this list is because everybody who did the trend did it with economy cars. I was seeing Priuses, Toyota Corollas, I was seeing Kia Souls, and the cars weren't even that crazy. Like, they weren't modded more than the car they were parking next to. A stock Prius parking next to another stock Prius, but the only difference is that this stock Prius has like a T-Move splitter on it. It was the craziest thing ever, and it was so cringe and corny. It never landed well. It had potential, but we as a car community just never know how to capitalize on potential. Coming in at number 7, we have a trend that was popular in like late 2023 to early 2024, and it was the slushie trend. This one, I'm not even kidding when I say this, this was the most brainless TikTok trend on this list. Nothing comes close. This was the one trend you'd watch and you're like, why? Why did you do that? At least for the other trends, you kind of understand the thought process. Like for the parking next to, you understand they're just trying to make a trend about comparison. And the scareway, although it's corny, you understand the reason behind it, right? This one, it was stupid. You go to a gas station, you park at a pump, you get out your car, you walk into the 7-Eleven in there, you fill up a large slushie cup, and then you launch it at your car. That's it. You literally get a slushie and throw it at your car and end the video. There was nothing else. There was no context. There was no pre-sequel. There was nothing. That was just the whole trend. Like, just watch this. Yes, I genuinely believe everyone who participated in this or did this in general has a lower IQ than a rock. And that might be a little insulting to the rock. Anyways, next though, we have an older one. This is one of the OG cringe TikTok trends. And do you guys remember that one Audi RS6 that crashed on the German Autobahn going about like what, 300 kilometers or 180 miles per hour? Yes, and then they put this Audi with the kerosene song from Crystal Castles. By the way, Crystal Castles, insane. I love that. I love that duo, whatever they are. But anyways, you'd go on TikTok and you see an edit of a mangled up car where somebody literally died, and it would be a troll face funk edit. Like, bro, come on. Imagine a family member dies in a car accident and then you hop on TikTok and then somebody posts your father's crash and then you open the comments and everybody's like Audi RS6 with 3 skull face emojis. I don't know, man. TikTok was a dark place back in the time. Like, why are you romanticizing somebody who died? What are you doing? And he was just, it's not like he was being illegal or risking lives, because that is the one part, like the German Autobahn, I'm sure many of you guys know, there is no speed limit in certain areas. So him going that fast, it's not like he was doing something to deserve him dying. And then people are just making senseless edits talking about Audi RS6, skull face, skull face, skull face. Let's move on, bro. My brain is rotting talking about this. Let's move on, please. And we're going to be going to number 5, the 5th worst TikTok trend ever. And that is going to be one that's actually still present to this day, but it's calmed down a lot. Like the trend graph looks like this is where it was at its peak, this is where it is now, and that is the trend of rage baiting. Rage baiting in the car community has become a lot, like it's crazy at this point. It's the fact no one can get along anymore and everything has to be for clicks. They show one slide of the trend, it says dog walker, and the next slide is AMG walker, Corvette walker, Mustang walker, Ferrari walker, and it's like the slowest car ever to base model 3 series. Like, you're not walking anybody, buddy. These trends date back a lot, and it's something I feel like will never die because people love clicks, and it doesn't matter if the people clicking on the video are clicking on it because they hate you. When people see that number goes up, their pickles rise. And I personally have never understood rage bait content because there's 2 case scenarios, right? The first case scenario, you post the content, you get 0 views, and you look like a clown. Posting rage baiting content and nobody falling for it. The second case scenario, people do fall for it, but the people who fall for it literally hate you and want you dead. And that's not something you want as a content creator. Why do you want your viewers to hate you? So you end up looking like a clown anyways. In both case scenarios, you look like a clown. So stop rage baiting, please. In number 4 though, we have a trend that was popular with the Mopar owners. Yes, I'm sure you guys see where this is going. Mopar owners plus a trend, it's never going to end good. But this trend was taken off your doors. Yes, the people who don't have TikTok that are watching this are probably clueless. Why would you want to take off your doors? Oh, let me tell you, I don't know either. Just watch this.
No doors.
Yup, we have people compromising safety because they think it looks cool. There is 0 benefits except clicks to taking off your doors. People were saying, oh, weight safe, weight safe. If you take off your doors, one of the most important parts that make your car aerodynamic, your weight save, your little 60 pounds of weight save does not matter. You have the whole wind dragging into your car. At that point, you're going slower with no doors than with doors made out of vibranium. And it doesn't even look good. Why would you want your Charger to not have doors? It looks stupid. It looks incomplete. It looks unfinished. It was such a strange time. I don't know. TikTok is a strange place now that I think about it. I'm so glad that Instagram Reels is my way of entertainment because it's much better. I do not see brain rot, and that's probably why I think TikTok has gotten better with the trends, or maybe it's just because I just don't go on TikTok as often anymore because my brain is already rotted enough. But before we move on to number 3, I want to ask you guys this question about the trends. What is one trend in the car community? It doesn't have to be a TikTok trend, it could be literally anything, but one trend you would like to see come back. Me personally, I'd like to see takeovers. I'm sorry, I meant me personally, I'd like to see car meets come back to the glory it was. Car meets now are dead. I've made multiple videos about that. Go check that out after this video. But we need car meets to come back. I might make a shirt that says bring back car meets or make car meets great again. Would y'all buy that? Let me know. But coming in number 3, I kind of did spoil it talking about the question for you guys, but we have cutting up and takeovers and overall reckless driving. I know this one might not seem like a TikTok specific trend like the rest of the other ones have been, but I'd be lying if I said content creation or just content in general hasn't spiked the desire to drive more dangerously or cutting up. You have people like License, people like Squeeze Bands, people like 540 Snow, you know, all these people who post videos on all across social media talking about YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, of them literally making the most dangerous cuts and risking everybody's life on the road just for a couple of likes. And then you're gonna have Lil Timmy, who has a Toyota Prius, hop in his Prius, try to recreate it and die. I'm sorry, that's kind of blunt, but that's the way it is. I have to be honest with you guys. Do not try to recreate any of these things you see. Please, it won't end well for you. Cutting up and takeovers are silly. They've always been, and it's sad that it became a trend. And that's why it's so high on my list. That's why it's top 3. But these last 2, they're the worst. Watching these last 2 trends, you're probably going to rip your head out, and you're gonna be like, why did those exist? How did TikTok let this slide? Why didn't anybody shoot them? I'm playing. Let me even make that joke for YouTube. But in number 2, we have a trend by one person. Probably thinking, how is one person a trend? Oh, but trust me, this era, it was a trend. And that is this girl right here. I'm sure many of you just seen that picture and gotten straight war flashbacks to the terror she caused in the car seat. Holy, if you don't know who this girl is, don't worry, let me explain. In fact, no, I'm not gonna explain. Just watch this for yourself. Watch who this girl is. Yes, she literally hopped on cars, destroyed them, and got a crowd of people just so she could dance on it. And you know why she did this? To promote her OnlyFans, of course. Well, what else did we expect? She's low IQ anyways. It was silly because these videos got so much views, and like when she went to the car meets and did this, it got an insane amount of attention, so it gave her more of a reason to do this. This was the dark times. This was like the all-time low for the car community, because this was the same time where takeovers were starting to spike. So not only did we have takeovers spiking, we also had an OF model destroying cars for clout. Terrible time. 0 out of 10. Won't recommend. Rest in peace, Mark Ray. But finally at number 1, the worst trend to ever grace social media, not just TikTok. The worst car trend to ever grow social media has to go to power inflation. Yes, at this point, this is a staple on my channel. Power inflation is brain rot. You don't need 1,000,000 horsepower to merge on the freeway. You don't need 2 million to daily drive. You know, all these people with like insane 2,000 horsepower builds just casually gapping superbikes and all that. They've made people think that's the norm when it's not. If you have a 400 horsepower sedan, you're gapping 90% of regular traffic on the road. It's facts. Nobody is driving casually with a 2,000 horsepower GTR to commute to work. Come on, get back to your senses. Oh, I do have to include a clip, so just watch this clip of Artist Fast absolutely blasting boosted bike. Yeah, it's crazy. But that has been it. That has been a ride down memory lane about the worst TikTok trends ever. I'm sure many of you don't recognize most of these, but I swear they actually did exist, and it's crazy. I recognize all of them because this is what I do. I have to kind of like document that. But dark times, dark times. If there's a trend I missed, make sure to let me know in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, drop a like and subscribe. Until next time, my friends. Good night.